Our protagonist wakes up in a hospital bed, confused after seeing a door floating in front of him. He thinks he must be hallucinating. When he checks the door, he is in disbelief. How is this door floating in midair? Is this some kind of magic? Curious, he tries to open it, but the moment he does, he suddenly falls through. Inside, he finds himself in another space entirely. Shocked, he shouts, "Is there anyone here?" Suddenly, he hears crunching sounds. Out of nowhere, a skeleton monster appears before him. In fear, the protagonist trembles and runs back for his life, quickly closing the door behind him and apologizing to the monster for disturbing it. Collapsing back onto his bed, he thinks, "This world is so dangerous. I hope that thing won't come after me." The door starts vanishing. It seems he has been reincarnated into this new world. Suddenly, a mysterious voice congratulates him. "Congratulations on successfully awakening the ability World Link." Panicking, the protagonist asks, "Who's there? Who's talking?" The unknown voice responds, "Don't panic. I'm using telepathy to communicate with you. Right now, I'm trapped in another world, and this telepathic connection won't last long. It's limited, so do exactly as I say if you don't want to die." Still confused, the protagonist listens as the voice instructs him to check his backpack. Inside, he finds a creepy-looking statue. The voice explains, "That's the cursed statue of the wicked Ghost King. Someone placed it in your bag to curse you and steal your soul, but you survived." Suddenly, a flood of memories hits him. He realizes that the original owner of this body was a middle schooler named Shen Ye, who was killed by this cursed statue. At the same moment, the protagonist himself had died back in his world due to overwork. What kind of job was that anyway? After dying, his soul traveled here and took over Shen Ye's body. The mysterious voice continues, "When the doll's curse fails to kill someone, it grants the survivor unimaginable power. Power accumulated over millions of years of stealing souls. Now the statue is beginning to crack. Quickly summon that door again. It belongs to you now thanks to your World Link ability." Following the voice's instructions, the protagonist summons the door once more. The voice explains, "Since you were polite when you first opened the door, you've earned the title, Polite Person. By equipping this title, you'll receive bonuses when you're polite to others. It leaves a good impression." As the protagonist examines the title, the voice warns, "I'm running out of strength. Be careful. Whoever used that cursed doll on you will likely return to finish the job once they realize you survived. They might already be on their way." The protagonist quickly asks, "Who are you? Why are you helping me?" The voice replies, "Because I need you. The world you're in now is called the Nightmare Realm, and I'm currently trapped here too. Get stronger and set me free. In return, I'll reward you handsomely. Until then, don't you dare die." And with that, the voice disappears. The protagonist sighs in frustration. "I barely crossed over into this world, and someone already wants me dead." He begins searching through Shen Ye's memories to find clues about who might want him dead and why. But he finds nothing. Left with no other options, he equips the Polite Person title, thinking it might help him defend himself in some way. He considers going back inside the mysterious door to see if he can gain another title, but the real problem is the skeleton monster. He reassures himself, thinking, "As long as I stay close to the door, I can retreat if anything happens." However, he knows the skeleton is too strong for him to defeat right now. With newfound determination, he thinks, "Communication is the cornerstone of humanity. A skeleton is a dead person, but technically a dead person is still human too. Maybe I can negotiate with him and find out who's after me." Feeling confident, the protagonist steps forward, until he sees the skeleton standing right in front of him, and all his confidence vanishes. After activating the Polite Person title, MC begins introducing himself. The skeleton looks at him in confusion. MC then apologizes for interrupting its meal and offers to become friends, thinking the title is working. However, as soon as he finishes speaking, the skeleton suddenly launches an attack. MC quickly dodges and shouts, "You don't have to be so violent. I just wanted to have a little chat." Grabbing the door, he quickly slams it shut and falls onto his bed. He then checks for a new title he expected to receive after entering the door, but the system notifies him. "You can only obtain one title per day. Today's title has already been claimed." MC sighs in disappointment, realizing he can't farm titles endlessly. Determined, he summons the door again, thinking, if that skeleton keeps blocking the way, how am I going to get good titles tomorrow? Besides, the assassin might be coming for him at any time. He opens the door, determined to put all his past sales skills into this negotiation. I'm back again, sir, MC says apologetically. The skeleton, still munching on something, doesn't pay any attention to him. MC steps closer and continues, you can't eat me, but I can easily travel between our two worlds. We can at least talk a bit, right? The skeleton roars in response, but MC insists, at least hear my proposition. Surprisingly, the skeleton begins to walk away, leaving MC confused. Thinking quickly, MC calls out, I noticed you're injured. Your left arm is regenerating slowly, and I saw that when you were chopping down people earlier. Not only your arm, but your skull, ribs, and spine are also damaged. He adds, I can't let you eat me, but I can provide things that help heal bones. Like these calcium tablets, specifically designed for bone recovery. I've got tons of nutritious supplements too. If we become friends, I can supply you with all of this. After all, where I come from, we have a saying, I'd take a bullet for my friend. Compared to that, buying calcium tablets is nothing. Though in your case, taking a bullet wouldn't be an issue, right? The skeleton suddenly forms a glowing magic ball in its hand, and MC prepares to retreat, thinking he needs another approach. But before he can act, a contract materializes in front of him. Contract content. Equal exchange. Addendum. I recall 7 millennia ago when humanity, with their talent for culture, art, and technology, caused the eternal bell of fate to chime 12 times. At that time, even the gods took notice. The skeleton speaks for the first time, stating that it hopes MC can help it regain its strength. It reveals that it has never made contracts with anyone other than gods, so MC should understand the significance of this agreement. The system voice chimes in, this is a fair contract. If either party is dissatisfied, it can be terminated at any time. MC, feeling excited, signs his name. The human who overcame the curse of the fallen evil spirits, gatekeeper of nightmares and reality, sole controller of the two realms. MC grins and says, so, I'm kind of a big deal now? With that, the contract is completed. Scene shift. Inside a house, MC's new parents are giving him medicine and some kind of super tonic. They reassure him, saying, don't stress too much, just rest and let us know if anything happens. In his previous life, MC was an orphan. Now, he feels overwhelmed by having such caring parents. Suddenly, there's a knock at the door. When his parents open it, they find police officers standing outside. We're here regarding Shen Ye's case, one of them says. The officer sighs and says, incidents like this happen countless times every year. They're unpredictable and there's nothing we can do about them. All we can do is leave it to fate. He looks at MC and continues, but in your case, you've recovered from the curse. It's a blessing amidst the misfortune. MC gazes at the officers deep in thought. The real Shen Ye was killed by that monster summoned by the cursed statue, he reflects, sadness washing over him. What am I supposed to do if something like that happens again? Just leave it to fate? Seeing MC's troubled expression, one of the officers speaks up. I know you're upset, but there's something I need to tell you. The higher-ups have approved the decision to abandon the hospital. No one will be allowed to enter again. Rest assured, there won't be any more victims. The officer, a 3-star sergeant, offers a reassuring nod. MC thanks him, but hesitates before saying, I'm just worried. It feels like someone is targeting me. The sergeant's expression turns serious. You're just a middle schooler with a simple social circle. We've investigated and we haven't found anyone who would hold a grudge against you. As the officers turn to leave, MC's thoughts race. The curse of the wicked Ghost King is so strong that even the police can't do anything about it. Even the government finds it troublesome. Why would anyone want to kill Shen Ye in the first place? Lost in thought, MC is startled when one of the officers returns. He hands MC a contact card and says, if anything feels off, contact me. MC looks at the card and thinks, looks like not everyone in the police is useless after all. Still unsure whether to trust the sergeant, MC ponders. He doesn't seem like he's just following orders. But if the government can't handle it, What can he possibly do? For now, his biggest concern is protecting himself and his family. Now that word has spread that I'm still alive, they might come after my family next. Determined, MC summons the mysterious door again. He can't afford to sit back. He needs to get stronger. With a confident smile, he opens the door and calls out, "I'm back! I brought the medicines as promised." The skeleton, munching on something, barely acknowledges him but instead points at the tonic his mother had given him earlier. MC hesitates before handing the tonic over. Suddenly, a dark energy swirls in the skeleton's hand and a scroll materializes before MC. The other party desires the tonic in your possession. As a battlefield acquisition officer, the giant skeleton has selected an item from its collection of war spoils, a relic from an enemy soldier, offering it in exchange for your tonic. Low-tier nightmare crystal, a relic crafted by the High Elves, once the sworn enemies of the giant skeleton. This crystal can directly instill knowledge, skills, techniques, or intelligence into the user. MC's eyes widen in disbelief. A relic from the High Elves? I can actually acquire their skills? Without hesitation, he crushes the crystal. A sudden surge of knowledge flows into his mind. Skill acquired, Moonlit Deer Walk. An evasive movement technique designed to counter giant undead creatures. It allows the user to effortlessly evade, dash, and sidestep attacks. MC is shocked. I never thought I could gain an elven movement technique just by offering some tonic. Now I have something to defend myself. The skeleton silently collects the tonic and other medicines before vanishing into the darkness. Watching it disappear, MC mutters, "Hiding in the shadows, huh? They made such a secretive contract, but they don't even talk much." Shrugging it off, he thinks, I need to start practicing my new skill. Just then, he hears a noise from inside the house. Mom and Dad must be back. I should head to my room before they start asking too many questions. Before he can move, a notification window pops up in front of him. He stares at it in amazement. This really feels like a game. Curious, he wonders, how can I increase my agility? Before he can finish his thoughts, a voice suddenly speaks from behind him. "So, you really are alive? How is that even possible?" MC's heart pounds as he quickly turns around. From the darkness outside the window, a shadowy figure emerges. A man steps into view, his eyes gleaming with malice. "I'm here to finish what was started," the man sneers, his intent to kill crystal clear. The scary-looking man dashes forward with a dagger in hand. MC quickly dodges the attack using his newly acquired Moonlit Deer Walk skill. The assassin's eyes widen in surprise at MC's reflexes. MC, however, is equally surprised by the assassin's early arrival. He activates his polite person skill and asks, "Can I help you with anything?" But it doesn't work. The assassin scoffs and lunges again, shouting, "Just die already!" At that moment, the system notification appears before MC. System alert. The Nightmare Crystal has granted you knowledge. In the Nightmare realm, skills, techniques, titles, and equipment are ranked from lowest to highest. Gray broken, white normal, green excellent, blue exceptional, and purple 1 in a million. The higher the rank, the stronger the effect. Your title, polite person, is of gray broken quality. MC realizes, no wonder my skill didn't work. It's low-tier garbage. Falling back, MC struggles to properly use his Moonlit Deer Walk skill. The assassin smirks and pulls out a gun. Your fancy footwork won't save you from a bullet. Another system notification pops up. System alert. Titles can be consumed to gain stat points. The higher the title's rank, the more points you receive. MC glares at the notification. Damn you, stupid system. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Without hesitation, he consumes the polite person title, converting it into stat points. Investing them into agility, he levels up from 2 to 3. New skill acquired. Moonlit Deer Walk. First form, evasion. Man, these fancy names. Calling it Moonwalk would be so much easier. As the assassin fires, MC swiftly dodges using his improved skill and summons the Hell Door. Without a second thought, he rushes inside. The assassin, in shock, follows him inside. Once inside, he looks around in disbelief at the eerie, endless void behind him. MC, with a sly grin, closes the door. Before the assassin can react, the door begins to vanish. Suddenly, a monstrous skeleton emerges from the darkness and looms over him. In an instant, the assassin is swallowed whole. Outside the door, MC collapses to his knees, exhausted. I need to get stronger. There might be more assassins coming for me. I can't waste any more time. Another system notification appears. System alert. You have sacrificed a living being. The other party is pleased with your offering. In exchange, you have received the following items. 1. Pale Shadow Crown. Green equipment, excellent. An item imbued with high-level shadow magic from the Gloom Abyss. Anyone who wears it can disguise themselves as a member of the elf race. Crafted by the undead. 2. Silver War Medal. Green equipment, excellent. A symbol of honor and merit within the Nightmare Realm's elven forces, awarded only to soldiers who have achieved great feats. Wearing this medal will teleport you to elven territory. MC stares at the rewards in disbelief. First, this skeleton wanted to eat me, and now he's showering me with goodies. Curious, he tries on the Pale Shadow Crown, and the moment he puts it on, his appearance changes. His ears elongate, his features sharpen. Looking at his reflection, MC is amazed. Wow, I actually look like an elf. Excitement fills him. Once I gain another title tomorrow, I'll head to the elven territory and loot everything I can. Just as he's lost in thought, a sudden knock echoes at his door. Shenya, are you there? MC stiffens. Who could it be? Another assassin? The voice from the other side of the door asks, Are you really Shenya? I'm here to see you. I'm Chen Haoyu. Upon hearing the name, MC suddenly remembers him. Chen Haoyu was Shenye's friend, and the reason Shenye went to the hospital that day was to visit him. MC quickly shifts his appearance back to normal and opens the door. The moment he does, Chen Haoyu lunges at him, hugging him tightly while sobbing. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. You got dragged into this because of me. MC pats his back and reassures him. It's not your fault. I just had a bad day, but I'm perfectly fine now. As Chen Haoyu continues crying, MC's mother appears behind them. Mom, you're back. Where's Dad? MC asks. She sighs and replies, Your father went to see your grandfather. Maybe he can help us get more super tonic. Then she looks at MC with concern. Did you take the tonic I gave you? MC quickly nods and replies, Yes, though he knows it's a lie. He had given the tonic to the skeleton earlier. Chen Haoyu's eyes widen in shock. Super tonic? Shun Ye, your family must have some serious connections. Even rich people struggle to get their hands on it. He then reminds MC, Your parents really care about you. You should work hard and get a good score in the exams. MC is momentarily puzzled before remembering that the original Shenye was just a middle schooler and his exams were ongoing. Because of the curse, Shenye had missed his first exam while he was hospitalized. Chen Haoyu looks devastated. It's all my fault you missed the exam. If you had taken it, you'd have had a shot at getting into a top high school. MC's mother gently reassures him. He only missed the strength exam. There's still the agility exam. If he performs well, he can still get into a decent high school. Hearing this, MC realizes, that's right, I almost forgot. This world is different from my previous one. Their exam system tests strength and agility too. No wonder the Moonlit Deerwalk skill had an agility requirement. But the thought of attending school makes MC uneasy. I'm being targeted right now. Going to school is like painting a target on my back. As fear creeps into his thoughts, he shivers. His mother, noticing his trembling, pulls him into a warm embrace, one so comforting that it momentarily washes away all his worries. She whispers softly, If you don't want to take the exam, that's fine. All I want is for you to be safe and sound. Not wanting to make his mother worry, MC quickly smiles and replies, Don't worry, Mom. You have no idea how strong I've become. His mother looks somewhat relieved, but MC knows deep down that he can't let their efforts go to waste. Shenye's memories continue to flood his mind, making him realize how important his grandfather and the rest of the family are. However, he also remembers that his parents have a terrible relationship with his grandfather. They had always chosen to live a decent and ordinary life, never once asking for his help. They must have begged him to get that super tonic. But their son, Shenye, is already gone. That makes it even more important. I can't waste their efforts. Pushing those thoughts aside, MC tells his mother, I'm hungry. As MC takes his first bite, his mother watches over him with tender and caring eyes. The next day, the scene shifts to the school building. Inside the classroom, the MC is reading about body mechanics. He feels relieved knowing that the school is filled with students, each possessing some kind of power. With so many powerful people around, no assassin would dare to attack me here, he thinks. He also contemplates getting into a top high school, believing the teachers there would be even stronger and capable of protecting him. As he's lost in thought, a student approaches him and says, Zhao Yibing is looking for you. She's in the hallway. MC recalls Zhao Yibing, an old friend who used to constantly pester him about his studies. He heads out to meet her. Were you looking for me? MC asks as he approaches. With a sideways glance, Zhao Yibing replies, I heard you came back to prepare for your exams. She adds confidently, I did well on my first test and I'm sure I'll ace the others too. I plan to enter the provincial elite high school. MC smiles and congratulates her, but her next words leave him confused. I just wanted to say, from now on you shouldn't come looking for me, she says. In the background, students begin murmuring. Are we hearing something juicy? Someone whispers. The school beauty is dumping him? Another student chimes in. Zhao Yibing continues. Soon we'll be going our separate ways. We're from different worlds and eventually we won't have much to talk about. It's better if we just stay as friends. Hearing this, MC smirks internally. So this is how you want to play it, huh? She then adds, I've already deleted your contact. I hope you live your life well from now on. MC, completely unfazed, scratches his ear and says, Funny, I only remember you coming to my classroom searching for me all these years. I don't recall ever searching for you. Honestly, I never wanted to be friends in the first place. He sighs. If you're serious, stop pestering me and let me study in peace. Zhao Yibing's face flushes with embarrassment as the crowd erupts. Shen Yi was the top student of our class and Zhao Yibing was all over him. Now that he missed his first exam, she's publicly ditching him? That's messed up, someone mutters. Suddenly, Zhao Yibing's friend yells, Bing Bing gave you so many gifts and this is how you treat her? You're an ass. Bing Bing starts crying. I thought we were friends, she sobs. MC shrugs. What's the point in crying, sis? You started it first. Did you think I'd let you slide? I'm not some low-class simpy nerd. The crowd watches the drama unfold with amusement. MC continues, Just because I accepted your gifts doesn't mean I accepted you too. The crowd starts cheering. If you truly cared about me, you wouldn't try to tie me down with gifts, MC adds. I have the right to find someone suitable for me. Turning to leave, he says, If you want your gifts back, I'll pay you for them. But don't ever think about us being friends again. With that, MC flashes her a middle finger, leaving Zhao Yibing stunned. Her friend, fuming, shouts, You're such a jerk. Bing Bing was head over heels for you and you treat her like this? MC doesn't care and starts walking away while the crowd taunts him. Does he think he's cool just because he has better grades? Someone sneers. Bing Bing tries to stop him. It's not like that. I'm not done talking yet. Her friend grabs her arm. Forget it. He's not worth it. Meanwhile, Bing Bing thinks to herself, I was totally going to dump him, but now everyone thinks I have a crush on him and got rejected. Just then, a towering figure steps in front of MC. Is this guy really a middle schooler or an imposter? The giant said. Bing Bing hasn't given you permission to leave. MC mockingly replies, Oh, if it isn't Sun Ming, the so-called top 3 student. Class is about to start, get out of my way. Clenching his fist, Sun Ming replies, You've been gone for days, Shen Ye. You're behind on the news. You're no longer the top student, I am. I've gotten stronger. If you don't apologize to Bing Bing, you're going to get your bones broken. MC sighs and responds, I wasn't the one who asked her to come. She did. But fine, I'll apologize. Turning back to Zhao Yibing, he puts on a teary-eyed act. Go ahead and keep pestering me if you want. With that, MC bolts away, leaving everyone in shock. Bing Bing stammers, I wasn't trying to force him. Don't listen to whatever Sun Ming said. She scolds herself internally. What am I saying? That idiot messed everything up. Sun Ming, furious, prepares to attack, but MC swiftly grabs his hand and dodges effortlessly, leaving everyone stunned. With a cold expression, MC says, "I already apologized. What more do you want?" Suddenly, a teacher appears, scolding everyone. "Why aren't you in class? The mock exams are about to start." Everyone scrambles to their classrooms. Sun Ming glares at MC. "This isn't over." Scene shift. School playground. MC stretches while his friend stands behind him. "It'll take a while before our turn comes," his friend says. "Why don't we check out the new comic shop while we wait?" MC thinks to himself, "He just reminded me of something I forgot. I need to collect today's title. This might be the perfect time." Clutching his stomach, MC says, "Ugh, my stomach's killing me. I need to use the restroom." Outside the restroom, MC looks around cautiously before slipping inside. Unknown to him, someone is watching. A suspicious figure follows him inside. It's an assassin. The assassin searches every stall but finds nothing. Where did he go? I saw him enter. Meanwhile, inside a hidden door, MC appears in his elf form. He calls out for the skeleton but suddenly steps on a gun, the assassin's weapon. Checking the magazine, MC is pleased. It's fully loaded. Now I have something to defend myself in the elf territory. However, he realizes he's never used a gun before. As he prepares to enter the elf realm, the mysterious voice from before echoes in his head. "I don't have much power left to help you," the voice says. It grants MC a mysterious human token, and in a flash, he is teleported to the elf territory. The scene shifts, and we see our MC just being teleported. He grabs his head as it spins and thinks to himself, "Is this the elves' territory?" Looking down, he notices the dagger given to him by an unknown voice. Why did he give me this? He wonders. As he examines the dagger, a voice suddenly calls out to him, "Who's there?" One of the elves speaks up. "Fern?" MC looks confused at the name, but before he can respond, the elves continue. "What took you so long? If you hadn't shown up soon, we might have declared the mission a failure and headed back." MC quickly responds, "There was a bit of a hiccup, that's why I'm late." Looking closely at them, he realizes that they, too, are not actual elves. They are wearing the same pale shadow band as him. One of the guys speaks up. "It doesn't matter now, you're here. We've already gained the trust of the elf tribe. They think we're heroic soldiers recovering from injuries on the battlefield." He adds, "Tonight, we're going to strike, kill the chief, and take all the treasures. Are you ready?" MC, adjusting his band, replies, "Of course, my hands are itching for action." The other three guys suddenly look terrified. Thinking MC is trying to remove his badge, they urgently tell him, "Don't touch your band. If you expose your true identity as an undead, we're all screwed." MC apologizes, thinking, "Just as I thought, they're also undead." He tries to calm them down. "Relax, when Fern's on the job, nothing goes wrong." One of them replies, "Hope so." MC sighs internally. "That freaking skeleton? This mission was his, and now he's dumped it on me." Another guy urges MC to hurry up, reminding him that his late arrival has already cost them valuable time. They head toward the village at an incredible speed. MC struggles to keep up, amazed at their agility. Now outside the village, the guy on the right explains, "To enter, just show your badge to the villagers." MC asks, "If that's risk-free, then what's risky?" The guy with the intense look responds, "The assassination, obviously. You're going to kill the chief, and the three of us will cover you from outside." Shocked, points to himself. "Me?" The three of them stare at him with a deadly look and ask, "Are you backing out?" To stay safe, MC quickly grabs his knife and responds, "Backing out? No way, leave it to me." While nervously sticking his tongue out, they nod in approval, and MC, sweating, thinks, "That was close?" Outside the village, one of MC's companions speaks to the guards. "Our companion has arrived. Grant him permission to enter." MC thinks to himself, "Killing the chief in his own territory is practically suicide. I'm dead either way. No wonder that skeleton dumped this on me." The guard tells the others, "Open the gate. This man is a valiant soldier. He has a silver wand." As MC walks through, villagers welcome him with smiles, and he is pleased to see some beautiful elves among them. Upon reaching the chief's room, the guards inform him, "The chief has been expecting you and is aware of your arrival." One of MC's companions says, "We'll wait outside, you go meet the chief." MC nods, thinking, "This mission is way too dangerous, but if I somehow pull this off, I might get an awesome title." Inside the chief's room, MC looks around and sees the chief standing and reading a book. The chief notices him, closes the book, and welcomes him. Suddenly, MC's system alerts him that his door has the ability to see others' titles. A list of titles appears before him. Spirit of the Myriad Forest, Hero of the Ancient Three Thrones, Nature's Mighty Lord, Grandmaster of Arcane Arts, Guardian of the Nightmare Realm, one of the 5 world heads. MC is left in shock. Damn, these are his titles? Then he looks at his own title, Polite Person. Huh? How did he get this title again? Didn't he consume it earlier? He sighs, realizing he was too naive to think he could pull off this mission. Not only me, even my companions outside can't defeat this guy. While trembling, he mutters, "Perfect, just perfect. Stupid skeleton fern, I'll remember this." The chief thanked MC for his hard work in the fields and told him to get some rest and enjoy the festival they were holding. Before MC could respond, the chief cast teleportation magic on him. In an instant, MC found himself teleported to the dining hall, already seated at a wide oak table. The table was laden with a variety of fruits, pastries, and transparent glasses filled with fine wine. Seated beside him were his 3 co-conspirators. They told him to eat for now, but soon the target would join the banquet. That was when MC needed to strike, the moment she let her guard down, and they would create a diversion to escape. MC thought, "This mission is suicidal. They just want to use me as bait while they escape in the chaos." As he was thinking this, a beautiful elf girl suddenly appeared behind him. "Would you do me the honor of dancing with me?" she asked, her voice soft and elegant. "A hero from the front lines should celebrate, don't you think?" MC immediately agreed. I mean, who could refuse? "You better not fumble this one, you stupid MC." They danced for a while. As he held her close, looking at her exquisitely beautiful face, MC thought bitterly, "If it weren't for this ridiculous task, I could have truly enjoyed this moment of singing and dancing. Damn it. I need to execute a plan quickly." The elf girl suddenly asked, "Why are you so quiet? Your brothers are the same. Was the battle on the front lines so brutal that it wounded your spirit?" Her soft voice pulled him out of his thoughts. MC suddenly made up his mind. "What's your name?" Shenya asked. "Lanny," she replied with a smile. "Well then, Lanny, listen to me. I know a magic trick." "Ha ha ha ha, really? That sounds fun. Show me," Lanny said excitedly. MC smirked. "There's no magic without a reward." Lanny giggled. "Fine, here's my bracelet. But let me warn you, if your trick isn't impressive, I'll take it back." She handed him her bracelet. Shunya took it and said, "No problem. Watch closely." He walked toward a table and after stepping onto it, called out for everyone's attention. "Ladies and gentlemen," he spread his arms wide, "watch closely. Though I may look like an elf, I can transform into a human." The room fell silent. Not only was Lanny watching, but so were all the other elves. Even his 3 accomplices focused on him, confused. "Transforming into a human? Do you know that kind of magic?" one of the undead whispered. The other 2 shook their heads. "What is Fern up to?" one muttered. "If he can really do something like that, tonight's mission might be easier," another added. Shunya stood atop the table, spreading his arms. "Watch closely. Here goes." He removed his pale shadow crown from his head. "This is for you, Lanny." He tossed the band toward her. The moment the crown left his hands, he transformed from an elf back into a human. The entire room fell into a stunned silence. And then, an explosion of cheers and applause erupted. "Spectacular!" Before their very eyes, a brave frontline soldier had turned into a human. Lanny laughed and clapped, then said, "All right, you've had your fun, now change back." But MC simply put a hand on his head and smirked. "It's like this," he said, turning to the crowd. "I can transform into a human because of this item." Then, pointing at his 3 brothers, he added, "And they can transform too. If you remove their crowns, you'll see their true forms." Undead. The word undead cast a heavy shadow over the once lively atmosphere. The elves' faces darkened instantly. MC continued, "When my three brothers reveal their true forms, I'll return. I'll even transform back into an elf." At that moment, he leaned back and vanished through a mysterious door in the wall. The elves gasped in shock. "A door? Where did that come from?" MC bid farewell to Lanny as the door slammed shut behind him. And then, the door disappeared. The elves were left stunned, but the tension remained because now they were on high alert. "Capture them!" one elf shouted. Suddenly, thick vines sprouted from the ground, wrapping around the three undead tightly. A voice echoed from the void. "I wanted to play with you all a little longer, but alas..." The elf leader materialized out of thin air, a hint of regret in his expression. "You undead thought you could infiltrate my village, but you never expected that a human had already infiltrated your ranks and led your mission." His lips curled into a smirk. "How ironic," one of the undead, still trying to maintain his cover, said. "You must be mistaken. We're soldiers returning from the front lines." He pointed calmly at the badge on his chest. The vines suddenly ripped the pale shadow crowns from their heads. Instantly, the three elves transformed into undead. The elf leader narrowed his eyes. "High-level shadow magic from the abyss. And it's permanent? This is truly unexpected." Examining the fallen crowns, he murmured, "With undead assassins infiltrating every village, this artifact will help us uncover their weaknesses and mount a counterattack." Then, turning back, he declared, "This time, we owe that human a favor." Lanny turned toward the far side of the room, staring at the pristine white wall. "He won't come back," she thought. Scene shifts inside the mysterious door. MC recalled everything that had just happened, realizing how risky it all was. Then, suddenly, he spotted the skeleton. It had returned. Crouching in the corridor, it was gnawing on a bizarrely shaped corpse. Anger surged through MC. He pointed at the skeleton and roared, "I was risking my life in the elves' territory and you were here feasting in comfort?" The giant skeleton snapped its head toward him. "You're still alive?" it rasped. MC scoffed. "The only good thing for you is that you're not human. Otherwise, I'd have smacked your sweet ass." Then, flashing his middle finger, he added, "You cursed thing! You gave me that pale shadow crown fully expecting me to die, didn't you?" The skeleton chuckled. "How did you survive? Tell me in detail." MC sneered. "You think I'll just tell you?" The skeleton tapped its bony fingers together. "Tell me and I'll pay you handsomely in return." MC snapped. "You nearly got me killed! I'm a vengeful man!" Suddenly, a window popped up. The other party seemed sincere. In the spirit of equivalent exchange, they have prepared a powerful necromantic spell for you. MC scowled. "You think you can buy me off with a little gift?" He clenched his fists. "You're insulting my honesty!" Just as he was about to tear the contract apart, the skeleton raised a hand. "I gave you the pale shadow crown because you were human. Humans and elves are allies. You had a chance to survive. If I had gone myself, death would have been my only outcome." With a flick of its wrist, the skeleton conjured a glowing crystal. To express its apology, the other party has surpassed the principle of equal exchange and decided to gift you a Nightmare Legacy Crystal. Nightmare Legacy Crystal contains 3 top-tier evolution-based undead talents. You may choose one to integrate into your soul, thereby acquiring its ability. The skeleton explained, "This crystal is an invaluable cornerstone of the undead race. Across the entire nightmare world, such treasures are exceedingly rare." It continued, "The innate ability it grants is a power that can be used without consuming any energy. The only reason I am still breathing is because of this crystal. The one who harmed me didn't finish the job because they wanted this artifact. But now, I am giving it to you." A heavy silence filled the air. Shunya coughed lightly and said, "I am a man of principle. I only deal with business partners who show sincerity." Then, after a pause, he smirked. "Since you're so sincere, fine. I'll forgive you this time. But remember, there won't be a next time." With that, he took the crystal orb. Without hesitation, Shenya crushed it. A thick mist erupted, swirling around him before swiftly merging into his body. When the mist cleared, he found himself standing in a grand palace, one constructed entirely of skeletal remains. At the far end of the hall, atop a towering throne of bones, sat a giant crowned skeleton gripping a sword. Its hollow gaze locked onto Shen-Ye as it silently raised a finger, pointing at him. Above Shen-Ye's head, 3 rotating orbs of light appeared. A thunderous voice boomed in his ears. "Choose! From these ancient legacies, select one. Place it against your head to inherit its talent." As the voice echoed, streams of information flooded his mind, describing the 3 available legacies. 1. Murmurs of the Dark, green light shard. Type, basic, upgradable. Effect, by invoking a corpse, the dead must answer your call. They will rise from the underworld and reveal the truths they know, granting them peace. Death is the deepest teacher. 2. Sacred bone body, type, basic, upgradable. Effect, any fatal attack will trigger an instant transformation into a sacred bone form, rendering you immune to death for 5 seconds. This ability can be used once every 24 hours. Those who try to control your life and death will find no happy ending. 3. Necromantic Resurrection, type, basic, upgradable effect, creates a soul fire that can be placed on a fallen undead, merging with the corpse to bring it back to life. This is a profound technique, one of the most powerful resurrection spells in existence, enabling the undead to rise again. The foundation of the undead race's power. Shen-Ye carefully reviewed his options, falling into deep contemplation. Which one should he choose? 3 innate abilities, each exceptionally powerful with boundless potential for development. Necromantic Resurrection is useless to me right now. Sacred Bone Body only gives 5 seconds of invincibility? What happens after those 5 seconds? I still die anyway. Murmurs of the Dark seems kinda weak, but it's exactly what I need right now. After all, information is key to finding out who's trying to kill me. With that thought, Shen-Ye extended his hand toward the first cluster of green light. As he absorbed the power of Murmurs of the Dark, a surprised voice rang out. "You actually chose this?" It was the voice of the giant skeleton. Shen-Ye shrugged. "I chose the first option. You seem surprised? Is there something wrong with it?" "Not exactly, but it won't quickly translate into combat power," the giant skeleton replied. "It's an ability for gathering intelligence?" Shen-Ye nodded in understanding. "In my memory, past undead lords all chose the third option, with very few selecting the second. No one has ever chosen this one," the giant skeleton added. "But more importantly, please tell me what exactly happened. This is important to me," the giant skeleton asked again. "All right, I'll tell you what happened," Shen-Ye said. As he explained, the giant skeleton trembled and suddenly exclaimed, "That guy you mentioned, he's the strongest high priest of the elven race." Shen-Ye suddenly understood. No wonder that guy had titles like Spirit of Vanson, Heir of the Ancient Tree Throne, Master of Nature, Arcane Grandmaster, Guardian of the Nightmare Domain, and Fifth Head of the World. The skeleton, amazed by Shen-Ye, suddenly remembered something. Those 3 Nightmare Knights got captured by the elves. They can no longer monitor or threaten me. This is my only chance! The giant skeleton suddenly turned, walked swiftly to the other end of the corridor, and disappeared from Shen-Ye's sight. There was no need to meddle in the skeleton's private affairs. What kind of evaluation entry would he get from this trip? As this thought crossed his mind, faint light appeared in the surrounding void. "You have earned the title One of Us." Green title, excellent. Equipping this entry grants the following effects. When you say, "Hey, we're on the same side," to a target, they will perceive you as an ally. This effect lasts for 10 seconds, after which the target will forget everything that happened. This ability can only be used once a day. If the target's total attributes are more than twice yours, they may resist the effect. Shen-Ye suddenly felt this might be useful. Suddenly, a notification appeared. Nature's Blessing Bracelet. Accessory, green excellent quality, rare. Wearing this bracelet continuously can slowly enhance your mental power. A bracelet? This was a gift from the elf Lanny in exchange for the magic show. He thinks that he has gained many treasures from a short trip. Not bad at all. Shen-Ye walked forward while stashing his newly acquired items. The next chapter, the mock test. This mock test mirrored the real entrance exam, testing both footwork and agility. Numerous holes covered the ground. "Start!" The teacher's voice rang out. A jet of dark purple water shot up from a hole near Chen Haoyu's feet. He hurriedly dodged left, only to encounter 3 consecutive jets of purple water from nearby holes. Chen Haoyu yelped, stumbling as he tried to adjust his footing. "Stay calm, you've got this," Shen Ye shouted encouragement from afar. "Thanks, Brother Ye, don't worry about me, I can handle this." Chen Haoyu grinned as he replied. A sudden jet of water splashed directly onto his face, dyeing it bright yellow. Laughter erupted from the onlookers. Minutes later, Chen Haoyu walked off the field in defeat. "Chen Haoyu, you should be glad this isn't the real exam," the teacher said, raising a scorecard. 71 points. "Next, Shen Ye," the teacher called. "Present." Shen Ye responded. He stepped onto the testing field and stood ready. Test begins. A jet of purple water shot up from the ground. Shen Ye sidestepped 3 meters in an instant. A series of purple water streams erupted in rapid succession. Shen Ye, however, had already reached the far side of the field. Hands behind his back, he moved with ease, gliding gracefully like he was skating on ice, calmly evading every attack with an elegant, unhurried demeanor. Not a single drop of water touched him. The watching students and teachers were entranced by the sight. Shen Ye accomplished all this without even applying his attribute points, relying solely on his natural agility and his newly mastered elf footwork. 2 men watched in amazement. The principal turned to the shady-looking man beside him. "He's our top student. You should give him another shot." The shady man scoffed. "He's good at agility, sure, but I'll only consider it if he gets a perfect score on the psychic power test." The principal was shocked. "A perfect score? That's too much. I remember him only having average psychic power." "Then let's wait and see," the shady man said. "If he doesn't score perfectly, there's no point in considering him." After the test, the teacher sighed and shook his head. "If only you hadn't missed one test." He held up a scorecard displaying the morning's highest score, 100 points. "Thank you, teacher. I haven't given up on entering high school yet," Shen Ye replied with a smile. Afterward, his friend patted his shoulder. "You're the man! A perfect score in agility. Let's grab something to eat since it's lunchtime." "You go first. Wash yourself up. I'll go hit the books," Shen Ye replied. In class, Shen Ye frowned, deep in thought. Math, physics, and chemistry were fine, similar to his previous world, but language, history, and literature? Completely different. As he mulled over this, someone suddenly kicked his desk, sending it flying. A huge guy loomed over him. "I'm back to finish what I started," he sneered. Shen Yi met his gaze calmly. The big guy smirked. "And this time, I brought friends." Without hesitation, Shen Ye activated his ability. "Why bother? We're on the same side." The bullies hesitated, looking confused. One of them spat. "Bing Bing begged us to take you down," another added. "We won't touch one of our own." But 10 seconds later, the effect wore off. Shen Yi sighed. "What a useless title." A system prompt appeared. "You have consumed the ability and gained 3 stat points. Stat points can be allocated to any attribute." "Allocate all 4 points to strength," Shen Ye commanded. Strength increased from 1.2 to 5.2. One of the bullies grabbed him from behind. "Time for your beating!" The big guy charged, only to scream in agony as his fist shattered against Shen Ye's unmoving body. Shen Ye broke free, countering with a punch that slammed the guy onto the ground. The other students were shocked, fear evident in their wide eyes. As Shen Ye stepped toward them, his voice was calm but carried a heavy weight. "Seriously? I already missed one exam and you guys are still trying to wreck me just because of some petty jealousy?" He grabbed the big guy by the collar and lifted him effortlessly. "If it were any other student, or the old me, you would have sent them to the hospital by now." The bully, now trembling, pleaded for forgiveness. It won't happen again. I swear." Shen Ye's gaze turned cold. "You humiliated me, tried to ruin my life, and now you're asking for forgiveness?" Without waiting for a response, he kicked the guy, sending him flying across the room. The scream was so loud that people outside the school could hear it. Moments later, a teacher appeared, his expression filled with frustration. What is going on here? You're making such an unpleasant racket. To his surprise, he found Shenye sitting calmly while the bullies lay groaning on the ground. With teary eyes, Shenye looked up at the teacher. You're finally here? These guys were bullying me. The teacher blinked in disbelief. You're saying they bullied you? Then why are they the ones on the ground, completely beaten up? Among the students watching, Bing Bing stood frozen, fear creeping into her expression. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. How had Shen Yi become this strong? The guys she had sent after him weren't even a match for him. As she was typing on her phone, one of her friends leaned in and whispered, Bing Bing, do you regret it now? She hesitated. If she had promised to stay in contact with him after they got into high school, would things have turned out differently? It didn't matter anymore. He had caused such a huge scene, injured 8 students. He was most likely going to be expelled. Her goal of ruining Shenye's life was finally achieved. As she turned to leave, her friend pointed at the guy who had just been beaten up. She followed the direction of the gesture and found him staring at her, eyes wide, filled with something she couldn't quite place. Her heartbeat quickened. Why is he looking at me like that? Does he want to drag me into this? She cursed him in her thoughts. Don't say anything. Don't open your mouth. Just die already. Then, suddenly, the guy called out to her. Bing Bing! Panic surged through her. She didn't know what to do. Tears welled up in her eyes as she turned and ran. I'm calling the cops! Shen Ye did this to him! She screamed. Shen Ye clicked his tongue in irritation. The teachers exchanged glances, realizing the situation was spiraling out of control. One of them sighed and turned to Shen Ye. Come with me to the office. Now. And with that, today's video ends here. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, Senpai Respawn, for more videos.